What's going on, guys? It's Thursday and I'm back to help you win another Forza Horizon 5 trial event. We're kicking off Series 23 titled Summer Party, and the first trial event of the series is called Hot Rod. It's a road racing event for rods and customs tuned to C spec. This one is an absolute doozy in my opinion. It's definitely not one of my favorites, one of the worst ones I think we've had in a while. It's kind of challenging trying to, customize a car to be good, that has a good balance between handling and speed for two like completely different types of tracks. So I kind of did my best here. I went with a 1932 Ford Deluxe 5-window coupe. The tune I made for it, I'll show it on screen right now. It is called C600 Hot Rod. I'll also show the share code. Now again, I tried my best to make it balanced. It handles is probably as good as it could possibly be without being just completely unusable slow. But it's definitely not the fastest car in the world. You're going to get pulled on certain parts of the track, but if you're a clean driver and can nail your braking points and not slam into the wall, you should be able to reel your opponents back in on the tighter, more technical parts of the track. So that's kind of what I was banking on. It's sort of a small sample size for me because none of my teammates brought stock. None of them brought tuned cars. They all brought stock cars, so it wasn't really much of a challenge from that aspect. But I think it would be competitive against people with tuned cars. You might not win both races, but they're going to be competitive. I could have just went easy way out and used just a complete power-based car and just slam headfirst into every wall and ride the wall when I can and not have any semblance of skill or respect at all. But I did not want to do that. I don't want to do my best to make a respectable car that is competitive for the different types of racing you will encounter in this trial event. I did some unorthodox things I don't usually do. Went with the 4-speed drift transmission, believe it or not. Usually I like to use stock transmission for these lower powered, lower class cars, but I couldn't really get enough speed out of it that way, so I decided to go with the 4-speed. You have less gears you have to cycle through, you're not shifting, losing time that way, you're kind of keeping momentum. It's going to be key keeping momentum as much as you can, pretty much. It's going to be the way to succeed here. I also used the anti-lag race turbo, which is kind of funny on a car like this, but it's there. I think it's probably the best option. It looks funny too because I put the hood where it has like the blower coming out of the top, which is completely ridiculous. It's like a supercharger, and I have a turbo on it, but it's there. It's funny looking, but it works. You lose some weight adding that hood. So and I used the white wall racing tires. Pretty much souped the engine almost all the way up for the most part. I did not do any weight reduction aside from wheels. Tires, I used the fattest tires I could on the rear and the first upgrade tire width on the front. And actually, for the first time, maybe ever, for a road racing car, I did not upgrade the suspension at all, or I did not use the race suspension. I always do, but this time I felt I didn't really want to waste those extra couple tuning points. I just kept the street transmissions, not the stock one, the first one from stock. But you can't really tune anything with like the springs or the damping or any of that stuff, so I went that way, but it worked. I think it worked pretty well. I did actually try the street versus the sport. I think it's what the sport one, the first and the second upgrade ones, they pretty much handle identical, so I just went with the first, the street one, and it worked for me. A lot of people are probably going to use like the utility sedan or something like that, or they're going to use stock cars, or they're just going to use something fast and just slam into the wall and drive like a complete moron. But I think this is a good option to be competitive on both different types of tracks. Like I said, mentioned earlier, you might not win both races, but definitely going to be competitive. If you're a clean driver, keep momentum up, nail your braking points. This thing is definitely a runner in this trial event. I'd love to know what you decided to go with. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what cars you decided to use. Leave a like on this video if it helped you out. Subscribe if you want more videos like this, and I'll see you next week for another trial event. Hopefully a better one.